come. Alright, so let's get this show on the road. We're going to start with a little bit of Dausen the Explorer. I don't know if you all remember who that is, but that was a fun little character we did for Outer Worlds. So, had a little bit extra time, wanted to get back to that, as well as some other things that we were doing, and finish them up. Limited time means we can only do so much, so want to do what we can. And so here we are. Thanks for joining us on this wonderful ride. So let's get this going here in just one moment. Alright, so here we are with Dausen the Explorer. Our lovely individual. I'm not sure why it's going a little janky. There it goes, now it's moving out. He's going a little bit blurry there for a moment. I was like, why is doing that? Alright, I believe we had, left all our mods in here to free up space. Trying to remember where we were, because it's been a while.
Yeah, so this is my hidey spot now. I was looking for a place that was quiet. I figured the kitchen would be louder than the hold, so here I am. Cozy-like, ain't it?
One way to put it. So you learned your trade from your father? It sounded like it when you talked with Reed.
Mostly, yeah. I lived in the maintenance office near all my life. Mr. Thompson never let me forget how funny that was.
Funny? I don't see the humor there.
He meant funny as in odd. It's not normal
Oh.
for anyone to do as their parents. You take a vocational test. That decides your schooling and your career. When I tested out for maintenance, everyone figured it was on account of my dad. They were real unhappy with us.
But you're actually good at this, and you enjoy it.
Well, I'm good at making things work the way they ought. Not so much at doing such to somebody else's schedule. There's times I'm working deep in the guts of a loader, getting it all running perfect. Then I look up to see it's tomorrow, and I've blown another deadline. Anyhow, I was happy to get back home. I didn't care much for schooling.
I see. So after school, you moved straight back to Edgewater?
Yep, nothing much had changed. Everything was a little grayer, a little dirtier. Dad met me at the shuttle and gave me a big ol' hug. I noticed straight away that he was moving slower and stiffer.
Oh,
He made a little grunt when I squeezed.
I'm sorry to hear that. I guess I shouldn't have brought it up. I'm sorry.
Oh, I miss him, sure enough. But he's a fond memory. I was right beside him when he passed, holding his hand.
Oh,
Talking
that's
about him
nice.
makes me smile. Dad never
Okay.
said that he loved me, you know? I knew on account of him showing it. How he'd stay up late to help with my projects or listen to my fretting. Oh gosh, look at the time. Sorry to bend your ear so long. And I got so much to do before this ship's in decent shape.
Let's see if that helps. We've dropped a few frames there. Now, what do you think of the ship?
That's in pretty good shape considering how hard Mr. Hawthorne ran it. It's a Yakita LHA 120, A2 model, I'm pretty sure. The Block 2 design scooshed in extra cargo space but didn't change the stock engines. Probably a touch underpowered, huh?
Accurate in all particulars. I conclude you are Edgewater's board-certified mechanic.
Apparently, Ada's the one who actually flies the ship.
Fly-by-wire's pretty normal. Or leastways, that's what I read in the trades. I've never been on a real ship before. Hello! I am not a board-certified mechanic, but my dad was. He taught me all he knew. Do you understand?
Speech recognition is one of the many skills I have been programmed to simulate.
You're not simulating it, you're doing it! I asked a question and you answered it.
I am gratified you consider this facsimile convincing.
So, what do you think, Pravati? Is it safe to fly now that we have a regulator?
I don't see any holes in the hull. I'll take a good squint at her, make sure everything's tip-top. But I think we're cooking with plasma torches. You can do that, you know. My dad taught me how to make grilled cheese sandwiches with a plasma torch.
Alright, I guess break time's over. Thanks for the conversation. The other one sounded like you're telling her to leave, and I don't want to do that. Good mechanic's useful. I mean, my own ship, we always
Make
tried to keep
yourself
the
at home,
mechanic,
Captain.
the Adeptus Mechanicus recruit we had, always happy and equipped because they keep the ship running. Good engineers, worth it. By the Emperor, it's worth it. Alright. Not really anything here. Not sure what this place is for. That's a strange game. Let's see what he had. Find out about this Hawthorne. Oh, Bedford. Oh. Oh. Interesting. I see. Well, that is interesting information, is it not? Okay. And to actually go here, sent. That's what we wanted. Uh-huh. Interesting. So he was actually hunting for Wells and trying to get him to get the bounty. Dirty. Oh no, that's interesting. I wouldn't mind getting my hands on some of those. Those are certainly interesting items. On par with Archaeotech. We might need to investigate this further. Still getting a few drop frames. I'm not sure why. I'm pretty sure I put this on the proper drive, so I might check that here in just a moment to make sure. Alright. Okay. So he's offline. We're going to need to talk to the ship about this. Mechanical unit would be useful in the field. The EdMech use them from time to time, and they're certainly helpful. They don't require the normal organic repairs that humans and others do. Oh, this is the room where we're putting posters, apparently. Okay. This room has weapons. Not sure why. And this room is kind of bare right now. Oh, we did pass the vicar's room. I was like, where's the vicar? And I saw he was here. Alright, well that makes sense. Interesting. Let me clean up your floor for you, since apparently you can't clean it up. Tossball cards. Alright, interesting, dude. Interesting. Alright, well. A ship is ours. It's good to have a ship that works again. Never did like being grounded without a ship. That's why I sought to become the rogue trader so badly. But hey, now we're in this bizarre place of Emperor-cursed space of some sort. I don't know if it's earlier in the timeline, the warp just messed with me, or what. Not exactly a preferred location, that's for sure. Just examining everything, make sure we know where things are on our ship.
Want to be a brand new you? Try out our respecification machine. Alex installed it himself, right before he died.
Boo-hoo. Man wasn't all too bright. She's working on that. We'll let her be. Considered asking her what she's doing with that, but we'll let it go. Give me just one quick moment. I want to see if I can figure out why we're dropping some frames, because it shouldn't be. But we are. With that issue, now we got to get the GPU replaced. So I guess I should find the cost on one. We'll put that up for the next goal. Let's see here. Trying to check, make sure it's in the right location as well. Alright, sorry about that. Let me just go ahead and quickly take care of it. I want to see if we can improve performance. It should be on the right drive, but I want to make sure. It is on the right drive. Okay. Have to change the settings a little bit. That's alright. Not desired, but, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. Quality, here we go. Does it reset? No, it didn't. Well, I was hoping it would. I think we'll go for that. We'll try that. Just see if it allows us to move a little smoother. So, we'll see if we get any more dropped or if we're good there. I prefer go ultra, but if the GPU can't do it, it can't do it. And I don't want to be having stutters for you. Alright. Ada, tell us about this SAM unit. I'd like to get him operational in the field.
Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance?
I want to know about the automechanical, apparently as you call them. I would just say the robot. Because, you know, Castilian robots, they look most alike. But yeah, tell me about it.
The unit is a cleaning SAM. Hawthorne brought it on board some cycles ago, I'm sure with the intent to modify it. But I've never seen it up and running. Alex likely recorded progress notes detailing his efforts to modify SAM.
Indeed.
If you check the terminal in your captain's quarters, we may be able to determine what work remains in order for SAM to properly operate.
Okay. And, you got anything for entertainment that you could put on?
Certainly, Captain. What would you like to hear?
A joke?
Two atoms were strolling through Roseway when one of them exclaimed, "I think I lost an electron." "Really?" the other asked. "Are you sure?" "Yes, I'm absolutely positive."
Wow. Alright, Ada, play me a favorite song.
Now playing a Spacer's Choice
No,
advertisement
no,
jingle.
no, 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 no. No, no, no. That's not my favorite song. No.
Everyone in Halcyon is contractually obligated to label this or another board-certified jingle their favorite song.
No. By the Emperor, no. Ugh.
As you wish, Captain. I must comply with all direct orders.
Really? That sounds suspicious. Alright, we'll talk later. Let me go check his terminal.
Take care. I require a functioning captain to run the ship.
I find that debatable. So, she said to check the terminal, so let's do that. Yeah, here we go. Search for Sam. First. Mm-hmm. Okay. Alright, what about the other results? Acid steeper instead of suds. That's interesting. That would definitely make it more combat. Excreting acid instead of soap. Certainly would cause some damage. And what else did you find? The broker. Okay. Well, we'll have to go talk with the broker and ensure his cooperation. Alright, I think we're good to go. Let's go see what we can find. We did have some skills. Not sure what this skills thing is, but hey. By the Emperor, the warp placed me here, we're going to make the most of it. That could be useful. I do see these as being useful. More armor would be good. I think we want to go ahead and improve our abilities in that regard, though. Apparently in this universe you can just change who you are. That's certainly bizarre. Interesting. I, Dausen, do enjoy a good sidearm. Much better than bulkier materials. I think getting some armor for my companions is a worthwhile endeavor. However, it would take 15 points and we only have 10. Understanding the science of this world may be beneficial as well. I do need to improve my ability with arms. Should definitely do that as well. We'll hold on for now. She said to use this machine. Ah, I see. interesting. So we can't go there. We can't go here. We can't go here. Or here. But we can go here. And that is interesting. They limit our destinations. Well, guess we could go there, or we could just go in and explore. What are our choices here? Just Edgewater. We can go talk to Phineas. Ask him how in Warp's the Emperor's name the Warp placed us on that bizarre ship he found us on. Not that he knows about the Emperor or the Warp. Ah, awesome. Congrats on that, Generic. Glad things are finally working.
We've arrived at Phineas's orbital lab.
Non-functional computers are always painful. Alright, crew, let's speak with this individual. I don't think I need you two on this, so stay on the ship for now.
Hello? Can you hear me? Does this work? Oh, damn it! Blast, that's loud.
Ooh, washer. Ew. That's terrible. 3. Do we have anything to improve our lockpicking? Phineas? I believe you said your name was. You certainly could do with a janitor to clean up some of this place. You have a fairly large ship. I mean, to not have servitors and others swarming these decks is very odd feeling. In the Imperium, we do not have vacant space. It is devoid of all.
I'm just securing my ongoing experiments. And securing myself.
What?
Mind the mess. I haven't had a visitor since... in fact, I've never had a visitor.
Interesting. What a bizarre man in a bizarre place. Ah, I've seen some creatures like this on a different planet before. That, on the other hand, is Nurgle Beast. Phineas, why do you have beasts of Nurgle? Sisty Pig is what it's identifying it as. That is truly bizarre. Ah, how did I wind up in this? That is what I would like to know.
Reviving you from hibernation was my greatest accomplishment. Your odds of survival were a mere 28%.
Yeah, but how in the warp did I get there?
Hibernation mask. Had to remove it, you know, in case you were prone to vomiting.
Let's see what he has. All the information we can acquire, the better. Ooh. How many people did he go through? Wow. Okay. So it's like a Nurgle-infested pig that produces food. Okay. Ah, yes. Interesting.
I see you brought my portable molecular compression device, better known as a shrink ray.
I did.
Find a target, point, shoot. Your target will shrink down into a manageable size, whereupon you may commence beating them to a pulp.
I
Feel
see.
free to try it on a marauder sometime.
I just may do that. By the Emperor, this would be handy fighting some of those warp titans of the chaotic former servants of the Emperor. Interesting. Nothing too important here, but we did find some decent information at least. We could indeed turn him over to this board, but I do not believe that they followed the rules of the Emperor. Therefore, he's not necessarily needing to be turned to their custody. I see. I see. And who is this individual? Who is it you're explaining you only trust me 23.7%? You get along with some of those Adeptus Mechanicus individuals, the way you speak.
Careful, that's my communications terminal.
Indeed, I know it is. What do you have to say for yourself?
Oh, thank the law. Your skin hasn't spontaneously changed color. Potential side effect of the revival process. Very rare, but you never know. Right. Welcome to my little habitation, such as it is. I've got caffeinoids, cysty bits, if you're into that sort of thing. So, welcome. Make yourself at home. My secret hideout is your secret hideout.
Any chance you could repair that monitoring device?
The one I gave you before your pod landed? Ruined, beyond repair. Impossible to find replacement parts. That's Halcyon Manufacturing for you. Don't worry about it. I'm reasonably certain you're not going to spontaneously expire. No need to monitor your recovery.
Well, thanks for pulling me out of the hope. I did not belong there in the first place. This Emperor-cursed land is despicable.
Not at all, my intrepid accomplice. I should thank you for tolerating my somewhat brusque manner. I only regret that I couldn't save more of your fellow settlers, what with being hunted by the board, and emptying my supply of necessary chemicals.
I see. Can we speak about these
Of
chemicals?
What's on your mind?
First off, is there a reason you're hiding behind bulletproof glass? Am I a threat to you?
Oh, it's not you. I do experiments in that room. Some of them get quite scientific. The unexpected is to be treasured, but from a safe distance. Regardless, it's quite comfortable in here, you know. I have my beans, have my caffeinoids, plenty of toilet paper.
I see. May we speak?
Absolutely. Let's talk.
Do you ever leave there?
Oh, goodness, no. I wouldn't survive 10 seconds in the blackness of the aether. Well, no, I imagine I'd last at least 12 seconds before I'd lose consciousness and die of hypoxia.
I see. We could test the theory if you would like.
Are you still annoyed at me for launching you into space? That was in the past. I've long since moved on. To answer your question, I'd rather stay right here in my lab. There's too much work to be done. The Hope's colonists won't revive themselves, you know.
And why is it that you're obsessed with the colonists?
Because we've lost our way. The board has a stranglehold over this colony, and we've all been conditioned into total obedience. The Hope is full of specialists, scientists, engineers, talented individuals like you. People who haven't been corrupted by the board. Unfortunately, the Hope's colonists have been frozen for decades, well past your shelf life, so to speak. No offense.
I am not convinced that you have not been tainted by the warp. And why did you revive me? So you must have solved the problem.
Ah, you begin to perceive the truth. Yes, according to the board and their narrow-minded scientists, you should be a pile of organic sludge right now. 10 years. That's how long the average human can remain in hibernation. You were frozen for decades. In theory, you never should have survived the revival process. But the conventional theories are wrong. You're living proof that it can be done. There's yet hope for the hope. Get it?
Wow. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I guess the hope is depending on us.
We'll do our very best to save them all. I'd best get back to work. I can feel my last dose of caffeinoid fading.
I see. Well, this has been informative. Let us proceed, as there's nothing else to be done. And that was a misclick. Oh well. The control on the items in this universe are very bizarre indeed. Controlling a body that has been warp-riddled into a new existence is revolting. Have I indeed modified this? No, I have magazine and sight I may put on it. Let's see, magazine and a sight. Let's see, shock. And that's a barrel. A sight. That could be useful. Larger magazine is not a bad idea. I think we'll go for a larger magazine, so that we can ensure the destruction of the foes of the Emperor. I already have one. Very well. So we have the extended and the sight. Yes, we shall do that. An axe. Very interesting. Maybe we should axe them sometime to try it out. Ah, yes. Parvati and the chaplain, we'll call him. Should give the chaplain maybe the plasma rifle. Yes. Ah, yes. That is better. Excellent. Generic, what system or which platform do you have the game on? Because I had a thought that that might be a challenge we need to overcome. Okay, so it doesn't matter which, well, not system, but platform it's on. I was more meaning launcher. I didn't know if like the Epic version and the GOG version and the Steam version and the Microsoft Store version are all compatible, but if it's cross-play, it should be, so that's good. Well, let me know if you'd like to do that. I have never played, but I am interested. Hmm. Yeah, we'll go to this Groundbreaker and see what we can find there.
Destination reached. The Groundbreaker.
Can we talk?
Yes?
Hey, Captain. I heard that Groundbreaker's got a real good engineer. A lady named Junlei Tennyson?
What about her?
I was thinking that maybe I ought to meet her. If you got time to swing us by, I mean. I don't got much experience fixing actual spaceships. I bet you a can of Borston beans she could teach me all manner of stuff.
I see. I guess we can head over to engineering then.
Thanks, Captain. I'll be sure to make it worth your time. Did you want to talk about something else?
I think we're good. Thank you. Ah, the Vicar did wish that we acquire some details here. So we may need to do that. Ah, I just had a thought. Give me just a moment, if you would. Let's see if those are eating up some of our resource. I believe they are, from what I was seeing on the display. Yeah, we'll try that. See if that improves it. Because I was remembering it's trying to install something, even though we're playing a game. And that may be causing some of what we're seeing of the reduction in quality.
Keep him quiet, Cap.
We did not do anything. Ma'am?
Smells like grease and unwashed bodies. Just as I remembered.
Lovely.
That's not the point. This halfwit just knocked out one of my workers.
Yeah, with a tossball stick. I heard you the first time. There weren't any witnesses. Hey, I saw... What do you think you're doing?
Really? You saw me from your back? I was just leaving.
Just don't make more paperwork for me, alright?
That is interesting. I want to test out, because the back is turned, they should not see. But apparently
Smells like
they can see
grease and
behind their
unwashed
heads.
bodies. Just as I remembered.
Indeed,
That's not
Max,
the point.
indeed.
This halfwit just knocked out one of my workers.
Yeah, with a tossball stick. I heard you the first time. There weren't any witnesses.
No witnesses. He's not even denying it.
Jackass had it coming.
Shut it, Felix. You're not making this any better.
You get cute with me again, you little back bay brat, I will toss you out an airlock.
This is the Groundbreaker, not Byzantium. You ain't the law here. I am. Now move along.
I don't have time for this. I need a drink.
Interesting. So this board and this Groundbreaker do not see eye to eye. But it's good to know that is something we may potentially use. Well, I'm thinking of it. We need to give the good vicar some, what do you call it? Weaponry. That's what I'm thinking. Yes. Vicar. Oh, Vicar has one. Pravati. Oh, we cannot modify it so it did not show. Alright. Do we have any better gear for the Vicar? No. But we could put him back in that, we may. I believe we put hers on the ship, though. Our current one does stealth, which is exceptional. And we did give it our dialogue, so we will leave that on for now. But we should use this one as soon as we need to engage in combat. Let's go back into this to be a little more personable on the ship.
Not so fast!
Really? You see that one, but none of the others. Alright. Ma'am?
Okay, keep him quiet.
What do you think you're doing?
Nothing at all.
Just don't make more paperwork for me, alright?
Dah! Not sure how he can see through a building, but very well.
Not a peep from me.
Good, we have an identity, so now we can disguise ourselves. That is good. That's an interesting invention that would have come in handy. Can you imagine disguising as an Eldar and invading their space? Finding their dirty secrets and bringing the information to the blessed Emperor.
Hold it right there!
They can see through solid objects. They are impressive indeed. For seeing through this pillar as though it was nothing. Let's see. Phineas, you are wanted for various crimes. I see. Sedition, forgery, conspiracy, conspiracy to commit conspiracy, unlicensed medical practice, destruction of board property. Interesting choices.
I wonder what that fella did to get the board so riled at him.
Gunnar Macreed. Interesting. Publicity is in line with what we've seen for the Imperium, but definitely has its differences. I want to know how your eyes see through pillar.
Customs and inspection, right this way.
Great. Yeah, we'll see what you have. Eradicate the junk. I believe this is not as good as the one we have. Yeah, it can only have a magazine as well. Armor, interesting. Nothing there we need. Health, we've already have quite a few of these items. These on the other hand could be useful, but I will hold off for the moment. It must be interrupted. Let's see, we could get another one of these guns. Ooh, it's a heavy. Hammer. Plasma carbine. It is a long gun. We have the plasma rifle. The plasma carbine seems interesting. Ah, a pistol variant. That would be useful, I think. As a barrel, we could put a silencer on it. Yes. We'll examine those, and I do want to pick that up. We shall sell the spade. axe. We'll hold the axe for now. Mr. Vicar. Kinda like you with your shotgun, actually. We'll hold on to that for now. Let us examine our other weaponry. 156. Not as good. As the sight, that is good. I like that. I like that. That feels good. Of course, there's this one. Feels right. Ah, finely engraved. Yes? That is actually very rapid firing. I think we will stick with these armaments for now. Hey, what is it you want?
Identification, please.
Very well. Here you are. Cannot let me know you have been dragged as Emperor Kurt's place. Let's say, hypothetically speaking, I don't have an ID. What happens then? Just out of curiosity. I have it here. I just want to know.
Everybody's got an ID. Oh, let me guess. You, left it in your other pants? I hear that one a lot.
Here you are.
Captain Hawthorne, you said. Let me apologize in advance. I'm about to ruin your day.
And why
According
is
to your
that?
ship's record, you've been flagged by the board. Your ship will be impounded until such a time as they see fit to lift it.
But we've hardly been out of Edgewater long enough to get in trouble.
Well, isn't this wonderful? The captain's done something to get on the board's bad side.
I have done
Now,
nothing.
hold on. This isn't the end of the world. Probably.
And how do we get this resolved? Let me guess. Udom Bedford.
You'll want to take it up with Udom Bedford,
Of
our board
course.
representative here on Groundbreaker. His office is located along the starboard wall of the promenade. Shines like a Byzantium commode. You can't miss it.
And do you know why it's impounded?
Access to that information is above my pay grade, and I've turned down 3 promotions, so it stays that way. I shouldn't be mentioning it, but what the hell? This here, impounding your ship, it doesn't happen much. The board knows we don't take kindly to their interfering in our operations. If I had to take a guess as to why, you must have riled up someone important.
I did not. Mr. Hawthorne did, but it was a previous life, let's say. Very well. It must have been a mistake. Let me go speak with him.
Not gonna lie, you're in a pickle. But Udom's an interesting guy. Might be y'all could come to accords if you play your cards right. Huh. Records show this ain't the first time your ship's been impounded. Seems to get cleared up pretty quick. You might not be in this pickle for long. Oh, and if you're headed that way, would you mind doing me a favor?
And what is it you wish me to do?
Wanda Dorset over in sickbay. Tell her the shipment's not in yet. It's not coming in anytime soon, and if she'd be so obliged to get off my ass about it.
Her shipment? What are you talking about?
A handful of SAM cleaning units retrofitted for surgery. I don't know much else. I stopped listening when she started yelling.
I see. I will see what can be done.
Much appreciated. Is there anything else I can help you with?
So what is the tension between your Groundbreaker people and these bored individuals I've seen?
You noticed, huh?
Yup. It's hard to miss.
They can't abide an independent township, especially not one they gotta depend on. We're the first and last stop out of this colony. All their interstellar freighters come through us, and we skim a few bits off the top in manifest processing fees with every one. Folks around here will bluster that the board hates our freedom, but really, they know we can stop their out-system shipments anytime we like, and that terrifies them.
Interesting. And why is it you do not wish to work together?
You sure you didn't just step off one of the interstellar freighters? There's no working with the board. They don't share, not bits, people, or resources. You work for them,
I see.
or you don't work at all. Groundbreaker cooperating now would be tantamount to joining their ranks, and we sure as shit ain't about to do that.
Not a problem, just curious. Sounds complicated. Thank you.
Sounds like, yeah. But from where I sit, it's all coming through loud and clear. They got assault cruisers, gunships, and a handful of mining operations at their fingertips. We push them too hard, maybe they decide we'd be better in 10 trillion little pieces. Or they cobble together a new groundbreaker and put us out of business.
The board wouldn't do that. Would they?
The board is necessary to provide order to the colony. They believe it's their prerogative to overrun you. But whether you allow that is up to you.
It's a tough line to walk, no doubt about that. But we may do all right. So far, anyway.
Interesting place we find ourselves. Very well. Thank you for the information.
Sure thing.
I shall be seeing you around.
Be seeing you.
I guess that is the way they speak here. Interesting. Just copy it down into our datapad and we shall review it further later.
This is it. Security. I can check the departures registry to find out which crew the Scholar shipped in and out with.
No one lives on Monarch. It's...
I do believe I have... Do I have the items I need on me? I do not believe so. This is the critical damage. I wanted a silencer, I believe, on this one. Does look good, but I think we'll leave that for now.
The wasteland. You were
We'll
hearing
do that
things.
later.
No, seriously. There was a lot of static at first, but then this voice said his name was Graham?
Graham, right. Broadcasting on a dead world full of monsters. Now I've heard everything.
You know, it takes more muscles to frown than to smile.
Who told you that? Graham?
Asshole.
Ah, they get along very well here, I see.
What do you think you're doing?
Really, they are very sharp. She is not. He seems to be.
Shh.
What do you think you're doing?
Wondering how you spontaneously decide to be alert.
What? What was that? Guess it was nothing.
Nothing at all. Just the wind at your back. The breeze in your hair.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt the regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. The board would like to remind spacers and other travelers that passage to Monarch is restricted for your protection. Canyons of acid and sulfur rain are the least of the horrors plaguing the surface of Monarch. Anarchists live as one with the animals, lawless, savage, and unemployed. The board's embargo ensures that nothing can leave the planet.
Hey, stop that!
Watch the TV.
Quietly now.
Watch your screen. Don't worry about me. Come on.
News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Do you have what it takes to defend your corporate township from the dangers of alien wildlife and the unemployed? Talk to your local manager about applying for military...
Interesting. So, crouching doesn't actually help you not be seen. That's intriguing. For science. Force!
Hey, stop that!
What do you think you're doing?
Please!
Flee for your lives. The Emperor's wrath has come.
Keep him quiet, Cap.
Interesting. So only the first time does it seem to work. Every other time, somehow they spontaneously have enhanced vision. Strange. Details to be logged and reviewed at a later time. How do we get up there? I see.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your
there's a better way in.
scheduled advertisement for the following story. Do you have what it takes to defend your corporate township from the dangers of alien wildlife and the unemployed? Talk to your local manager about applying for military training and lend your life to protecting our wonderful...
I see. This is the way to go. This is the way out, not in.
Military service does not...
We shall investigate.
Tax breaks, military discount, health benefits, military burial, participation medal, training, and weapons.
Well, well, well. What fine treasures might await us in here?
You know, nothing major. Maybe something minor. We shall certainly defend ourselves. If they had not fired first, then maybe they would have lived. But they do not wish to live. They wish to face the wrath of the Emperors. Oh. Oh. Interesting. That being said, give me just a moment and we shall press on.
Ready when you are.
Very well, we shall proceed with our endeavors. What can we find here? Intriguing. It's a smaller ship, but it would be nice to acquire additional assets. Ah, this is the Outer Worlds. It is a game by Obsidian, and was kind of, I think, what got the interest of Microsoft to purchase them. It is a sci-fi set in a galaxy far from Earth where they have been sent to colonize. And I am playing as a individual who got caught in a warp storm from the 40K universe. He's actually named after an actual 40K rogue trader. And he got warped to this place and is not happy to be here. But he finds himself here and is trying to make the most of it. And none of these crazy people know anything about the Emperor, so they're all potentially heretics. So you must watch them very, very closely. And some of them seem to be warp-tainted in their minds. We may have found some pigs infested by Nurgle. But we shall see what we can be done in this cursed universe we find ourselves. How's it going? Ah, we shall take
Now, I
the
don't
hammer
think
for
it's right.
ourselves.
That is a work of sheer universal beauty.
It is a thing of beauty. Are you requesting to use it? Certainly. Hope you enjoy it. It's a very fun sci-fi game. If you haven't played it, it very, very much has a lot of the feel of, say, Firefly. I mean, it's its own world, certainly, but kind of that flavor where you're a small crew on a ship doing things in the area. Interesting. Alright, let us move on. For some reason, his parents named him Vicar. I do not know why they call him Vicar. Apparently, his family name is Max, for he is Vicar Max. Strange name, but nonetheless, that is his name, he says. Could acquire you some better armor, that is true. We shall leave you for now in what you have. Let us return to the ship and modify our new purchases. Yeah, no, you're good, man. You're good. You're good. Why were they chastising you? Are you a heretic? Flex.
Going for a stroll around the docking base?
No, I noticed you were being chastised earlier for your incompetence.
Sure was. Got a knack for upsetting the board and the Mardettes all at once. Between you and me, I was hoping they'd come to fisticuffs.
It's almost like you desire to be arrested. Is that the case?
Yeah, because I knocked my foreman out with a tossball stick. But, to be fair, I wasn't the one who started it. The guy was insulting my Rizzo's Rangers. Look, if it's a crime to defend your favorite tossball team against slander and calumny, well then lock me right up.
Rizzo's Rangers? What is this Rizzo's Rangers?
Only the finest group of tossball players ever to take the field. He's a Spacer's chosen man, though. So when the Chosen beat my Rangers the other night, my foreman comes swaggering up with his head full of boasting.
Oh yeah, he's definitely a thug-type individual. I see, and that's when you resolved your differences like adults, correct?
That's when I broadsided him with a tossball stick. Yeah. Look, this was a long time coming. Guy thinks he can push me around because he's some sky-high foreman, and I'm just a back bay's dock worker. Well, former dock worker.
Very nice,
Guess
generic.
I just tendered my resignation.
I see. You are lucky you are not serving a sentence. Farewell.
You know something? I am lucky. I ought to raise a glass of zero-G to my fortune, if I had the bits. Hey, not for nothing, but I saw you wander out of that ship over there by the dock. Wouldn't happen to be yours, would it?
Why do you ask?
Oh, just musing is all. Must be nice having the run of the colony. Never being anchored to one place, always chasing some horizon. Hey, I don't want to talk your ears off, guessing you got places to be. I appreciate your time.
Shall I call you a unskilled with a gun Jane? Your name? I am Dausen.
Felix Millstone. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Does that mean we tie a millstone around your neck? We shall be seeing you.
See you around, boss.
See, their ships in this world almost have kind of a 40k flair to them. Very grungy, but they're a lot more vacant than the 40k world. Can I not even get on my ship? Come on. You...
Hey there, you mind stepping back? This charming little ship's been impounded and I'm afraid I can't let you near it till it's not.
Doesn't it hot in here to you?
I ain't felt so much as a tepid breeze in weeks. I hope Miss Chief Tennyson gets that fixed soon.
Well, it doesn't smell as bad here as Edgewater's graveyard in high summer, so guess I can't complain.
Either way, let's not stick around so long we all roast alive. No offense, Miss Elson, I'm sure whatever critical problem needs fixing will get patched in time.
Whew. I'm starting to feel like a sisty roast in all this armor.
Could you help me clear this up? I wish to access some of my supplies on my ship.
I'd surely love to, but that's just not my bailiwick. You'll want to have words with our representative here from the board, Mr. Udom Bedford. His office is on the promenade.
Fine. I'm off.
Have yourself a pleasant day.
Chipper while telling me she impounds my ship and I can't even get my stuff from it. Blasted modern debts. Bootlickers of this board.
Try not to be distracted by the glare of the adverts. Lots of unsavory types about.
Let's see what this individual has.
Got it. Heads down.
Nice. I'd heard something about it, but I'm not that familiar with the game. So cool. Uh, 110, 102, 180. Yes, the one I have is much better. We should scare him. We will put on his mask and go to him and say, "Boo." For the Emperor! Ah!
Sorry about the heat. Chief Tennyson will get the radiators fixed soon. Of course, this heat sure makes a zero-G brew extra refreshing. It's an ale that's good for what ails you. Oh, and it's not the best choice, it's Spacer's choice. Taste the freedom. A lot of slogans to keep track of. And sometimes I forget.
I need to ask about your hat.
I'm bound to satisfy headgear-related inquiries. Please send any complaints to our Consumer Care Headwear Division.
Are you surviving in that thing?
Oh, I'm having a stellar day. And not just because I'm legally obligated to say so. Almost as stellar as a Spacer's Choice is affordable.
Are you able to use your optical sensors within that thing?
I can see all of the top quality merchandise in the Spacer's Choice catalog, which is available here at a reasonable price.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, generic. How do you brush your teeth in that thing?
Spacer's Choice regrets that we don't sell toothpaste at this time, but we're always working on delivering exciting new products to our customers. Sprout Wash, Mouthwash, and Mantafloss are among the exciting line of dental goods currently in development.
Are you able to eat solid foods in that thing, or do you miss them?
Don't miss out on these deals. You'll find none like them on all of Groundbreaker. or anywhere in the Halcyon colony.
Do you have to sleep with that thing on?
Trouble sleeping? Try our lunar eclipse mix. That's 2 handfuls of pep pills washed down with a hearty swig of 2-hour energy brew. The blast will send you through the stratosphere, and the crash will knock you out cold, guaranteed.
And does Spacer's Choice make you wear this hat?
Add an additional 10% to your purchase today, and the proceeds will be donated to Spacer Cares, our premier corporate welfare program. At Spacer's Choice, we care about your health and emotional well-being. That's why we put Martin through 6 years of vendor school, only to make him wear this hat.
Do you need help getting out of that thing?
Even if my contract didn't forbid it, I think it's part of me now. Now, are you ready to make Spacer's Choice Lunar Green Moonmouth lozenges a part of you? Lunar Green, the future is spearmint.
I'm addressing the man beneath the mask. Are you okay?
Damn it. No slogan for that one. Look, this hat, my job. It may not seem like much to a brave space captain, but they're all that I have. If there are self-made purgatories, then we all have to live in them. Mine can be no worse than someone else's. Now, if we're done with the chit-chat, I hope you don't mind if I make the most of this short life and try to be the best moon person I can be.
Ah, very well. We are sorry if we pushed too hard, Martin. We just wish to know more about you.
It's fine. I should be stronger than this. Thanks for taking an interest. Speaking of interest, can I interest you in some quality budget goods? At Spacer's Choice, we
Let us see what you have for
so
sale.
You don't have to. Have a look.
I cannot sell the other weapon here. Ah, there it is. Yes, 400. 320, 400. I believed it was greater, but I want to verify. Oh my. Wow. They make you have a lot of those. Do not believe it is worth as much as a suit of armor, but apparently, according to Spacer's Choice, who's apparently supposedly highly efficient pricing, it is. So I regret to inform you that I will not be purchasing your pathetic equipment. 10 armor, 9 armor. So this is one less, but it does hacking. Interesting. That may be worth acquiring. Believe we already have stealth skill, yeah. Don't have heavy armor. 17. That is. Plasma, we do not wish that. Range spread. That we do. I do not believe if we left that on the ship or if we accidentally sold it. Range spread and range weaponry sway. Interesting. Do not believe we need that currently. That actually is intriguing sounding. N-ray. But reduced damage. What is this N-ray damage? Melee and defense. That does not sound terrible. Item locator. Let's see. It is more than we should spend, but wish to inquire as to its functionality. Liquidate some additional assets to ensure we have adequate space available. I thought he would reference the fact we have this on, but apparently not. We will go back to our hat. Ah, we did find this cap. That does not look bad. We'll go with that for now. That just feels comfortable.
I know she's in there, Mfuru.
Greetings.
You know that sound when you've snapped on an injector clip? Ah, that's how you know your weapon loves you back. I got a full line of weapon modifications I'd be happy to show you.
Sure, let us see what you have. Some more assault rifles. We already have. Ah, you do have one of the heavier rifles we wish to acquire. Is corrosion. Interesting. Plasma we do not wish to have, and shock we do not care for. Thank you, though. The only item of interest that you have is your heavy weapon there. And I will take that. Will you leave?
What do you think you're doing?
Yeah, that's what I thought. We have to wait till he eradicates himself from our space.
Okay, gone quiet.
Didn't the board rep's office used to be?
What do you think you're doing?
Here they come!
I don't think...
Yeah, they really did a good job with Martin, though, being that whole pessimistic individual.
You know what's happening on Terra 1? Last I heard, the board was...
Not thrilled with his life and just... Greetings, how can I help you? Welcome. I'm contractually obligated to be here.
CNP Borstworth.
You know, snoop in people's mail, see what we can find.
CNP, I can't believe it's not Borst. It's unbelievable how good it is.
Sublight seems like an interesting name. Venda, let me guess, you have food.
If you're hungry, you've come to the right place. I've got a fresh ground batch of spratwurst cooking. They're terra-fried to lock in the juices. How about a grinder's dozen? Fresh from the grinder,
I don't
any
know.
hour.
Dehydrated water. Wouldn't that just be nothing? Oh. Ooh. Mm. Mm. Sir, what do you have for
You look like someone who's
items?
taken their share of cuts and bruises. Need some armor? Maybe it's a bit secondhand, but that's only a testament to its durability. We also have a line of specialized melee weapons, for those times you have to repel boarders but don't want to risk a bullet through the hull.
Indeed, I believe that potentially the board is lying to everyone. Let me see what you have for sale. Interesting. That is actually some armor. Finally. Ooh, yes. We already have a stealth skill, but thank you. Heavy weapons and intimidate. Interesting. They are both mining helmets. I believe we already have that. That may be worth having. Block. Not so much. Leadership. Melee. Defense. Defense. Not really much here. A pulse hammer, maybe? Let's see, 242. That is the best one. We will pick that up, thank you. Vicar, I do believe that we have acquired an increase in armor for you. Wow, that is actually better than the heavy. Interesting. Interesting. Aunt Cleo's kitchen. Really? Oh. Oh. We need to have a word with some individuals about this. Excuse me, you do not have sanitary conditions at your current locale.
Potential customer. Welcome to Auntie's Kitchen, a home-style consumable protein dispensary. May this unit dispense proteins for your ingestion.
There is a dead body in your kitchen. That is not, adequate sanitation.
This unit would clarify. There is a dead mechanic in the kitchen. User error in the maintenance of this unit's cutlery engaged several systems at once. The slicer, the grinder, the tenderizer.
Oh, that sounds quite terrible.
This unit behaves precisely as it was engineered. Neither this unit nor its corporate proprietor claim any responsibility for the mess.
I see. Do you plan to actually clean it, or do you just plan on leaving it there?
This unit is not designated for cleaning duties and cannot be compelled to accept another unit's responsibilities.
I see. Farewell.
Have you seen this?
Disgusting.
Reward offered for information leading to the capture of noted terrorist Phineas Wells.
Go back to Byzantium, you gold-plated bastards.
Yeah, no one wants you on Groundbreaker.
These stairs are board property.
Let's see. Do we have a dialogue improvement, just in case we need any improvements in that regard?
Disperse now, or I'll detain you for trespassing.
We are a man of the cloth. We wish to speak to your leader.
Ah, the board. Organized, efficient, competent. Well,
Let my ship go.
Ah, yes. Wheeler messaged me you were coming. You must be the captain of the Unreliable, a vessel that used to be helmed by one Alex Hawthorne. And you are not he. Has something happened to my favorite scruffy freelancer?
I regret to inform you that the Alex Hawthorne you knew has expired.
Oh no, this is terrible. My dear friend, what devilry is this? In whose miserable fever dream am I trapped?
I do apologize for your loss.
Oh, Alex. There were so many arguments we'd yet to have.
I do see. What exactly was your relationship to this Alex? I believe I have suspicions as to it, but I wish for you to state so.
He was my dearest friend. My only friend. You have his ship, you must know. That picture of us on the promenade, me hugging him, him wincing. I keep a copy beside my bed. Did he?
I really do not know. I apologize.
It must have been lost with Alex, then. One more tragedy to top the pile. Tell me, how did he die?
There was a accident involving a escape pod.
Oh, awful business that. But why? How? No. Best not to ask after the gory details.
Again, I am very sorry. May we speak on something at hand, if you would be so kind?
Right. You're going important places, I'm sure. Big, exciting, important places. There, I've removed the flag from your ship. I'm terribly sorry for the inconvenience. However, before you go, Alex promised to tell me the location of Phineas Wells. I'm sure you've seen his wanted posters all over the colony. Did Alex tell you where Wells might be? Anything at all?
Why is it that the board is so interested in this Phineas Wells in the first place?
You haven't read the posters? He's a terrorist, a thief, a madman. It's really in the colony's best interest that we stop him before he does further harm.
I see. And might you tell me why you think I would know something about this Wells?
Well, Alex knew, or he said he did. And you have his ship. Maybe he kept some records around, or a conveniently placed note on his bedside table?
Unfortunately, Alex never did mention where the Wells was located.
That's... well, that's just terrible news. Law, what am I going to do now? The board will have my head. Oh, I'm sorry. This is terribly unprofessional of me. Is there anything else I might help you with?
No, just curious as to why the board would have your head.
It's personal business, I'm afraid. Miserably, terribly personal.
Bedford, stop being coy.
I don't intend to be. It's just a matter of trust.
Aha, and I take it there's no way for me to have your trust. Very well, then.
Information on the whereabouts of Phineas Wells would go a long way. It's... well, it's my white whale, I suppose.
I wish I could tell you where Wells is, but I do not know.
It's fine. Really, it's perfectly fine. I understand. Now, if you've nothing else, please see yourself out. I'd like to drown myself in work.
Very well. Farewell.
Shh, someone's coming.
What? Huh. Guess I'm getting paranoid.
I believe the OSI, you would be interested in that, whatever strange things that is. Do not believe we should engage in combat with them quite yet, but it's certainly on our mind. I am overladen, no wonder I am moving slow. Do not know how we've become overladen, but apparently we have. Let us go and alleviate ourselves of a few items to this lady.
Someone has got to talk with Chief.
Did not exactly free up very many items, did it? May we get back to our ship now and offload, maybe? Ah, the modifications are most likely part of what's taking up a lot of the space. Very well, we will have to go and deal with that soon. Let us explore momentarily more, and then we will go deal with it.
Watch out, there's some puddles of...
For those? It's nothing.
you know, keep watch, okay?
Oh. Ooh. Sure. Disgusting. Hey, Dome, how's it going? It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I've played it before, but not as a 40k individual. This time I'm playing, basically playing through as though the character we're playing as is from the 40k universe and got warped into this world. Yep, single playthrough. Hey Volk, how's it going?
Wish I could do that. Not a piece.
I kind of expected it to be mostly what it was, because I'd played their previous games. But I'd hoped they could have done better than they did, but it didn't have as many bugs as I thought it might, because it's the first time that company has really pushed to do first-person game on their own. I was expecting more in a lot of ways, but I wasn't expecting more in other ways because they've never done first-person before, and without doing a first-person game, it's very different than doing the style of games they had done. The only other first-person one that they've done, of course, was what do you call it? Fallout New Vegas. So it's more along Fallout New Vegas is what I was expecting it to be. And it's not terribly far from that.
Great work.
Hey, how'd you get back there?
I was hunting rats. That's how I got back there.
Take another look at that half-empty docking bay and tell me what you think.
But I mean, they didn't actually do a lot of New Vegas. They didn't do New Vegas's engine. They kind of just used what they were given. And so, as it's their first foray on their own into first person, I kind of gave them the grace as expecting it as their first go-round. In some ways, yes, but it's their first foray into this engine. So what I'd more evaluate is their DLC, which I haven't picked up, and any further game they come out with. Because this is kind of their introduction. To me, this is their base level for doing a game like this. New Vegas, they were on a different system, so I don't credit that to be the same as this, because it is different. This is their first time on their own doing a first-person game like this. So I see this one really as their benchmark. This is the benchmark game. And then where do they go from here? Do they improve? But I agree, in a lot of ways this isn't as good as New Vegas. In other ways, they did do fairly well, so... Did they get rid of him, or is he just working on something else? I didn't think they actually got rid of him. I thought he was just stepped off to do his thing for a bit. Not that he's removed himself from them, but that he's choosing to do some other things. I know he's working on a different project right now, but I didn't think they had left on bad terms.
smells awful, and not all of it's mine. Thank you, stranger. Shit, ain't that a relief? You have no idea how
Interesting.
good the air on
Okay.
Groundbreaker smells until you've been trapped in a tiny bathroom with an overflowing toilet.
That is
Thanks
disgusting.
again, friend.
What happened?
What usually happens on this partially pressurized rust bucket? Something broke. Well, actually 2 things broke. First, the damn toilet overflowed. When I came to clean that up, the damn door decided to close and lock on me.
I hadn't heard that. But that would be unfortunate. How long have you been in here?
Time stood still. I was aware of nothing but the smell. Ugh, could have been days. Ah, shit. That means I haven't clocked out in days. Song is gonna have my ass for wage theft.
I see. Good luck. Yeah, no, he's a really good storyteller. I totally agree. And it is unfortunate they would treat him that way. I don't understand why they would do that, because burning that bridge would not be wise, so I'm a bit puzzled. I'm not saying they didn't, I'm just saying it's very puzzling that they would burn that bridge. Just loops around, okay. This where we came up? No. But someone did bring up a good point. Microsoft recently acquired Bethesda as well, and they have Obsidian. So it is now actually possible that there's a potential to see a New Vegas 2. Yeah, Pillars of Eternity 2 is eh. I didn't like Pillars of Eternity as much as I did, what's the other one called? What's the other one they made? Oh no, it might not be a New Vegas 2, but I mean a New Vegas 2 meaning another game like New Vegas from them, sort of thing. Tyranny. Did you ever play Tyranny? I thought Tyranny was actually better than Pillars of Eternity. Pillars of Eternity was good, but I really liked some of what they did in Tyranny. Maybe I should do a playthrough of that on the channel. It's the same style as Pillars of Eternity, but it's a different game. It really has its own flavor and stuff, and they did a really good job with it, in my opinion. Okay. Yeah, I've definitely liked Tyranny better than Pillars of Eternity. I thought Pillars of Eternity, like I said, was good. It wasn't bad by any means, but I definitely thought they did better on this than they did that. And I mean, it's very, similar look and feel to the game, as you can tell. It's just a different world and setting. And to me, I actually think they did better on this than the other, which is interesting.
Ready when you are.
But yeah, I definitely liked it a lot. I thought it was very well done. I actually thought about doing some Fallout Tactics as well on the channel as a kind of a throwback to something I wish more companies would do, because they did a really good job with tactics.
Shh.
Really? Wow. I've played it before, like I've beaten it a couple times, but I've thought about playing it on the channel again just because it's a unique style that I've not seen any other game quite do the same thing they did. If you guys are interested, I'm actually was thinking about calling this one pretty soon. That's kind of a 2-hour game segment and then going to one of the others. Wow. There you go. That is quite a long list. Mine's, I don't really count how long it is. There's a lot of games I wouldn't mind doing and trying, and some of them are older that I kind of want to do just because not everyone knows about them. And like I just showed you, Tyranny is one of them that not everyone knows about that I kind of wish more people knew about it so that I mean, Pillars of Eternity got a lot of attention and it didn't, and I'm like, it should have. It was good. I mean, it's kind of the same thing with Tactics. I thought Tactics was actually fairly well done, and a lot of people are just like, what's that? Yeah, I never did think about that one.
What do you think you're doing?
I was just leaving, that's all.
Oh, my mistake.
Do we lose rep? Yeah. We'll get that later. Oh, really? I was planning on trying that. I should make sure that's updated then. I thought about doing that later today, so let me make sure it's patched. Unfortunately, I think that was part of why this game was getting a little bit of frame drop. Oh wow, it does. Well, let me get that. Why do they always decide to switch screens that you have stuff on? Why can't Steam just leave things on the screen you put it on? Okay, interesting. Yep. I'm hoping the stability stuff helps. Okay, interesting.
You been flying the outer systems route lately? Deader than a space caterpillar.
I do think that they definitely need some patches for Necromunda because, as we all know, there's some janky things they need to fix.
Have you tried our Dehydrated water tablets? Just add air. Don't take my word for it. See for yourself.
Dehydrated water tablets.
Spacer's choice.
Add water. So you're selling me a bottle of hydrogen?
Have a look.
What do you guys think? Dehydrated water tablets. What do you think that would actually realistically be, seen as water without water is nothing? So is it just an empty bottle they sell you? Wow. 150 plus improvements. Maybe the game will have a few fixes that it's been desperately in need of. Let me go head to the ship.
Everything usual around here. Chief wants to reduce board traffic, give tramp freighters more paths.
Are there enough tramps in Halcyon to make
Let's go ahead. We need to do a few other things. Let's head back to our ship. As we slow walk back, anyone who's not followed, feel free to follow and turn on notifications so you know when we're live. If you want to support the channel, there's options below. And I appreciate everyone hanging out. Nice generic empty water with smell of water, or empty bottle with the smell of water. Yeah. Sure, no, it's awesome. If you want to play it while we're hanging out, that's fine too. Let me know what you find. I'm definitely curious. Will do, will do.
Hey, you got a second?
What's this about? Flex?
Fancy running into you again. Don't mind me. It's just
Oh, generic. Don't get me started on the over-encumbered walk.
That's a fine-looking
You
ship.
guys didn't see my Fallout 4
Anything to
playthrough.
He's me.
You would have clawed your eyes out, potentially. You know, you're pretty eager to throw in with someone you barely met.
Yes, I absolutely am. Just give me a shot. That's all I'm asking. I could be the best damn crew you ever hired.
Alright, why should I bother hiring you, Felix? Actually, if you're trying to convince me to hire you, you're going about it all wrong.
Oh, okay. Well, can you give me a couple of pointers?
You're all over the place, just be yourself.
Sure, I can be myself. I can be myself better than anybody else in the system. You're looking for crew, I'm looking for a way off this port. So we've got something in common already. And yeah, I know I came on a little strong, but honestly, when was the last time anybody was so eager to throw in with you? That's gotta count for something, right?
I don't know, I've made my mind up about you. How about an interview? How does that sound?
Sure, an interview. That sounds fair. I mean, first time for everything, right? Ask me anything you like.
What is the value of pie?
It's delicious. Mock apple pie and a tripicale crust? Maybe with a little cream on top? Classic.
Wow. What's your biggest flaw?
Foreman told me my biggest problem was that I didn't take orders. I told him my problem is not with authority, it's with jackasses. So yeah, I guess my biggest flaw is that I don't suffer idiots. Hope that's not a deal breaker.
You don't suffer yourself. That is interesting. And what about in a fight?
Are you kidding? I love a good fight. One time, I took an autoloader's head clean off its servos with one swing of a tossball stick. You can count on me in a scrap, boss. That's a promise.
Very well. We do need a dumb mug to take shells. Why not?
Wow. You don't know how long I've been waiting to hear that.
Yeah, generic.
Thanks,
On
boss.
my first playthrough of Fallout
You're not gonna
4,
regret this.
when you get the first suit of power armor, I was so heavily loaded and the core went out. I was like 3 or 4 times capacity, and so it took me like 30 minutes to walk from the building where you meet them back to Sanctuary Hills because I refused to drop anything off, and I brought it all back to the house at Sanctuary Hills. Yes, Felix's official title is Meat Shield. Or Shoot That Guy. Hurt them, hurt them! Yes, yes, yes. Hurt you, save them, save them. Ah! Alright, we'll see you on the ship.
I'll just gather my personals and meet you on board. This is gonna be great.
You got a crew now, Felix.
Alright, so I think I'm going to go grab some coffee here in just a minute. What game would you guys want to see? You want to see more of this one? You want to switch and try out some Fallout Tactics? You want to see some of the Tyranny I mentioned? Do you want to go try Necromunda? What sort of game you guys want to
Please, would you kindly inform
try
the
out?
crew that long chats with Ada are not required every time the captain leaves the ship.
Okay. Well, Volk, I did make you on Necromunda yesterday, so you have been added to the group. And I think the next donation goal is going to actually be for replacing the video card, because right now, from what I'm seeing, that's kind of holding us back a bit. So I will be adding that later as well. No, you haven't actually. I haven't been able to take you out. But if you want to hang around, I'll see if I can do that. I'm trying to remember. I think I made you the Brawler. But yeah. Let me go ahead and throw a quick poll on, and then you guys can go with that. Or you can post in chat what you want, if you want something different than the poll. Basically, whatever gets the most, that's what I'll play. They're all things I am up for playing, so. I do want to add